From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Congress is back after a month-long break. We'll look at some of the major issues they're tackling.
A new plan to fund K-12 schools depends on the push to legalize recreational marijuana in Arizona.
Candidates for president are already sounding off on the controversial term anchor baby. We'll investigate what that means for birthright citizenship here in Arizona.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Audrey Wheel.
And I'm Sydney Glenn. Thanks for joining us. The Iran deal, the federal budget, and a visit from the Pope. Arizona's delegation in the nation's capital, along with the rest of Congress, is set to tackle some major issues as they return to work. Cronkite News reporter Elizabeth Blackburn is live in Washington, D.C. with what Congress has on its agenda.
After a month-long recess, Congress is already diving in with a debate today on the Iran nuclear deal. Congress watchers say we have a lot more to look out for in the coming months.
There's a lot on their plate. There are 12 legislative days between now and the 1st of October when they have a lot to get done. First up, like you mentioned, is the Iran deal.
The vote on the Iran nuclear deal needs to happen by next week, and then lawmakers will quickly turn around to tackling the budget.
They need to figure out how to keep the government open after October 1st. This year's appropriations bills run out at the end of the month, and unless they can reach some sort of at least short-term deal by the 1st of October, we might be facing a government shutdown.
It is not uncommon to have this many items on the agenda, says Marge Baker, Executive Vice President for People for the American Way. But she says what is uncommon is the shadow of presidential politicking.
It's going to be a circus, because it always is at this time, and it's even worse now because there are several Republican candidates for the presidency who are also in the Senate and who are interested in using this threat of a government shutdown, which would happen if they don't pass the appropriations for the government or they don't pass the debt limit.
And that doesn't include Pope Francis addressing a joint session of Congress, the first time a pope has ever done so.
That's sort of a big thing that they also have to accommodate. So it really is, it's a lot to get done in a short amount of time, and so we'll see if they can do it.
Other items on the agenda are reauthorizing the Export-Import Bank, funding the highway bill, and raising the debt ceiling. Reporting live from Washington, D.C., I'm Elizabeth Blackburn, Cronkite News.
Our Public Insight Network Bureau is working to gather your input on Pope Francis and his visit to Congress. We hope to inform and empower our Cronkite News coverage of this historic event. Online, you can find a special questionnaire from our PIN Bureau asking your thoughts on religious leaders getting involved in politics and what you hope the Pope's visit may accomplish. For a link to this questionnaire, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Immigration is a hot-button issue this presidential campaign season. Many candidates are talking about citizenship and using the controversial phrase, anchor baby. Cronkite News reporter Erica Lang is following the birthright controversy live in the Media Center. Erica?
Right now, anyone born on U.S. soil is an American citizen, but presidential candidates are definitely concerned that immigrant parents are taking advantage of that right. And that's not the way those being labeled as anchor babies necessarily see the issue.
Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
Using the term anchor babies yesterday on the radio?
No, I didn't.
I don't think it's offensive. I don't use it.
For ASU professor Carlos Vélez Ibanez, it's a teaching moment for students in his Intro to Transborder Studies class.
Excavate your way.
But his perspective is more than professional, it's personal. His family has ties on both sides of the border, and his mother gave birth to him in Arizona.
And she said that my feet were placed south and my head was always north. So if you want to call me an anchor, no longer baby, I guess I'm one of those too.
What does he think of the term?
Even the notion of anchor baby is ridiculous. People have been anchoring on both sides of the border for generations and generations and generations.
And the issue doesn't just involve parents who cross the border by foot. Many families come by plane from places such as China, India, and even Western Europe and give birth in the United States.
Première génération américaine de ma famille. Hi, I'm Anel, and I'm the first generation American in my family.
Anel Ganeas' family moved to the U.S. from France. She was born in Miami, where her father was working at the time. She says some people have referred to her as an anchor baby.
And I think I've heard that term before, but I never really paid attention to it.
She considers herself an American.
I do go to a university, I am in a sorority, you know, I think I've completely transitioned into the American lifestyle.
A lifestyle and a birthright for many children of immigrants born on U.S. soil. Birthright citizenship is protected under the 14th Amendment. This is not the first time the debate has surfaced, and it tends to be a hot-button issue during election year. In the Media Center, Erica Lang, Cronkite News.
Providing schools with more funding usually isn't the center of controversy. However, reporter Julia Thatcher found a new campaign that's turning into a big debate. Julia?
This proposal that would increase funds available for schools K through 12 led to some pretty high opinions from both sides of the debate. That's because it would use money raised from legalizing marijuana. Colorado, Seattle, Alaska, and now Arizona. The Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol campaign is currently looking for signatures to put legalizing pot to a vote on the 2016 ballot.
People like to use marijuana like they like to use a cocktail or beer. This is the same reason people use marijuana, and they shouldn't be made criminals for that.
The campaign says the taxes from legalizing marijuana would put $40 million into the K through 12 school systems. The Department of Education, however, doesn't agree that the proposed campaign will make the grass on the other side greener for the school systems.
It's hypocritical to tell our children and focus on teaching our children to stay away from drugs, but then to be funding their schools with money that comes from marijuana.
The campaign is confident in their ability to gather enough signatures by the deadline, and even comparing the campaign to prohibition.
It's just as ridiculous as banning alcohol, if not more. This is the way to go, a legal market.
Although recreational marijuana use is legal in 4 states, it is not recognized by the federal government, an idea that the Regulate Marijuana campaign thinks is outdated.
It's really an antiquated thought of reefer madness.
The Department of Education is working on a series of proposals tackling issues, including funding.
We need to make education funding a priority so that it's not reliant upon taxes on vices.
They will be ready to share those ideas with the public in early October. Signatures to get that on the ballot are due July 1st, 2016. In the Broadcast Center, Julia Thatcher, Cronkite News.
If you're looking for more information on the marijuana debate, the Carnegie Night News 21 initiative just released a multimedia in-depth report on marijuana policy and attitudes nationwide. Reporters based here at Cronkite traveled to states across the country to document how pot policies are taking shape, as well as the opposition to legalization. For full access to all those stories, go to weedrush.news21.com.
Arizona is one of 16 states selected for a new CDC program designed to prevent prescription drug overdoses. The states get between $750,000 and $1 million each year. They have some freedom to decide where to spend the money, but it can go toward drug monitoring, community outreach, or drug-related research. It seems like school has barely begun, but already a key test is causing concern.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, new AZ merit results have parents worrying about their children's education.
Plus, we're tracking a new survey on Diane Douglas and how voters feel about the recall effort regarding the superintendent of public instruction.
At ASU, we believe the most important semester is the one that starts after you get your diploma, the one called life. So we work hard to help our alumni thrive, teaching them the importance of not only achieving their goals, but exceeding them. With innovative programs that embrace hands-on learning, that encourages real-world growth. Our alumni know it can be the education of a lifetime, for a lifetime. For more information, asu.edu.
I'm an urban gardener. I'm a PhD student in criminology law and society.
I have an expertise in construction history.
I also happen to be a swing dancer. Oh, and I'm a source.
And I really like being a source.
Great journalism requires great sources, and we want you to be one of them. Arizona PBS is building a network of viewers, people with insight into the stories we cover and the stories we should cover. Explore what it means to be a source for the Arizona PBS Public Insight Network at azpbs.org/pin. Are you a news junkie, history buff, science or nature lover? Then discover 8 World, an entire channel devoted to bringing the world home to Arizona. Watch 8 World on Cox 88 or over the air via antenna on 8.3. To find out how to tune into 8 World for your satellite or another cable provider, visit azpbs.org/world or call 602-496-2308. Discover your world. 8 World.
See this patio? There used to be a motorcycle sitting there, a bike I didn't use and didn't want, so I donated it to public television, and they took care of everything. In addition to supporting my favorite programs, I earned a tax deduction. Turn something you don't need into something you really want. Contact the Vehicle Donation Program.
8 is Arizona PBS, a service of Arizona State University.
The release of AZ merit scores in mid-August shows that Arizona's students aren't performing well compared to the national standards. This has many parents concerned about what these scores and the move on when reading law could mean for the future of their student. Cronkite News reporter Angie Schuster talked to the State Board of Education and a local 4th grade teacher, none of whom are actually too concerned about the seemingly low test scores.
44%, that's the percentage of Arizona's 3rd graders that scored as minimally proficient for the state's English language arts standards. In 2014, only 14% of students didn't meet the state standards for the Ames test. This dismal number, almost half of the students, looks bad for the state of Arizona, but many are saying that it's actually a step in the right direction.
In this room, for example, we have kids reading at all different levels. At a 6th grade level all the way down to maybe a 2nd grade level. Kids read in groups with kids on their own level, because I care about these kids and I don't want them having anxiety.
Sean Conway says his 4th grade class at Clarendon Elementary is no different this year than last. He'll be teaching students on a full spectrum of reading comprehension. But according to the AZ merit test, the number of minimally proficient students more than doubled in just 1 year.
We've known for a while that our standards were too low, our expectations were too low, and we needed to raise the bar in order to really be globally competitive and to make sure that we had a realistic picture of how our students were doing and whether they were going to be prepared to be successful.
Even so, the test scores have parents concerned.
Well, I think it's really natural for parents to feel sort of nervous about this. They've been sort of told one set of things based on the last test, and this is going to be a new test, and scores are going to look different.
One big issue with these new test scores is whether or not the move on when reading law comes into play. The State Board of Education met at the end of August and decided not to hold back the nearly 50% of students who were less than proficient on the language arts section.
All of those kids are already sitting in 4th grade classrooms, unless teachers recommended retention based on their really poor performance or lack of ability level achievement from last year. So what we are saying, we're not going to hold anyone harmless. We're not going to go backwards.
Conway says he and 4th grade teachers across the state still have to teach their students the current 4th grade curriculum, but also help some students catch up.
We would use strategies that we've been using for years. So reading intervention, working in small groups, having kids read on their level in our guided reading, our block. And that's where we put kids with other kids that have the same reading ability.
The one thing that teachers and state officials want everyone to understand is that it's not kids that have gotten worse. Arizona just adopted more rigorous standards to find out the real proficiency levels of our students. The scores that are currently out give a look at how the state fares, but separate district scores won't be released until early October. And parents won't receive their child's individual scores until later that month. Angie Schuster, Cronkite News.
Coming on the heels of a possible recall, a new survey shows Arizona Superintendent of Public Instruction, Diane Douglas, is in an unfavorable position with most voters. New polling shows 54% of voters think she's doing a below average or poor job, while only 12% say she's doing an above average or excellent job. Also given the chance, 45% of voters said they would sign a petition to recall Douglas, while 28% said they would not. The petition needs to get about 365,000 signatures over the next 4 months to force a recall election. Douglas's office spoke with Cronkite News last week, saying the recall effort isn't even on Douglas's radar.
This summer has been filled with some ferocious storms.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, how last week's monsoon blast has Arizonans bracing for the next round of storms.
Plus, the recent dust storms can be annoying for you, but potentially fatal for your pet.
The easiest and best way to support 8 Arizona PBS is by becoming a sustaining member. Your monthly contribution of $5 or more comes directly from your bank account or credit card, so you know your membership is always current. It also means no more renewal notices in your mailbox. So more of your dollars go to the programs you love. It's convenient for you, greener for us, and better for the planet. Become a sustaining member today.
Tap into the art scene from coast to coast. Join the Art Beat Nation, a weekly series where you'll experience a rich cultural tapestry of art stories from across America. Meet artists, writers, composers, and performers setting the pulse of the arts in America now. Join us for a brand new episode of Art Beat Nation, Sunday at 5 on 8HD. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online. Become a news source for the Arizona PBS Public Insight Network. Your ideas and insights can help us create relevant and distinctive reporting. Join now at azpbs.org/pin.
Throughout its history, Arizona PBS and volunteers have enjoyed a rich and rewarding partnership. Whether answering phones during our pledge campaigns, stuffing envelopes, or assisting with special events, volunteering at 8 is fun and provides excellent work experience, team building for a group, and a sense of community involvement and importance. If you would like to volunteer at 8, or if you have dropped off our mailing list, we encourage you to call the number on your screen or go online at azpbs.org/volunteer. Thank you.
Tap into the art scene from coast to coast. Join the Art Beat Nation, a weekly series where you'll experience a rich cultural tapestry of art stories from across America. Meet artists, writers, composers, and performers setting the pulse of the arts in America now. Join us for a brand new episode of Art Beat Nation, Sunday at 5 on 8HD.
Today may be hot and humid, but there's little chance for the kind of damaging storm we saw a week ago. However, as Alicia Leonage discovered, changing weather patterns means we need to be more vigilant.
Uprooted trees, closed roads, and broken power lines. The monsoon season seems like a nice break from the Arizona heat, but it's what's left behind that takes a toll on the valley.
99% of the time it's sunny and hot here, and then we get one of these storms like this, or a monsoon, or a dust storm that really takes us by surprise.
The Phoenix Zoo was forced to close for 3 days following the powerful storm on August 31st. Fallen trees certainly made a dent in the fences, but fortunately, the storm didn't harm any animals or guests. Today the gates are open, but certain areas are still roped off and under repair. Phoenix Zoo Communications Director Linda Hardwick says this is the second time the zoo has been closed within her 5.5 years on the job.
We definitely were always prepared for storms. We actually have storm tracking monitoring devices within our ranger's office, but this one came up so quickly.
While the cleanup is still underway in some parts of the city, the American Red Cross has now closed its shelter and is ready to respond to the next storm. They're prepared for disaster with cleanup kits and a number of statewide locations identified for shelters and cooling stations.
You should also be prepared by having flashlights and batteries ready, water, first aid kit just in case, and also prepare to have medications ready.
Experts say that with the El Nino year approaching, this damage could become the expected aftermath of future storms. In Phoenix, Alicia Leonage, Cronkite News.
Our Cronkite News social media team also captures the action during big weather events, like this storify during last week's monsoon blast. You can find it at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Dust storms can cause us many problems like uprooted trees, high-speed winds, and property damage. But those storms can also affect your pets. Reporter Jesse Schultz is in the broadcast center with details on Valley Fever.
Yes, the dust storms can also be the cause of this lifelong sickness for Valley pets.
While he may sound like your typical dog, Great Dane Relay has overcome quite a bit in his 9 years. Last February, his owner noticed an abscess on his leg.
So we started treating the abscess, and then we went back to our regular vet because he wasn't getting better.
and then they tested him for valley fever.
The results came back positive.
The emergency vet visits, the initial medication, we were right around $2,000. Now, monthly maintenance, it's about $75 a month.
A recent study by University of Arizona estimates that 4% of dogs in Pima and Maricopa counties will be infected with valley fever. Arizona Humane Society veterinarian Melissa Thompson sees an average of 3 to 4 new cases of valley fever a week.
We don't generally put dogs up with valley fever for adoption because the costs are incurred for people.
Professor Jason Eberhardt from Midwestern Animal Clinic says valley fever is really unpreventable.
And then people go out in the environment during those times of years, in the fall and the winter, and then they're exposed that way.
Even common activities in Arizona, such as taking your dog for a hike, can potentially expose them to the fungi that live in the soil that cause valley fever.
Though Relay's valley fever is an added expense, the Allert family is happy he's finally healthy.
Our children would be devastated without him. We are so happy that he's 9 years old and we still have him. I think that when you have an animal, you take on that financial responsibility.
It's estimated that Arizona dog owners spend about $60 million a year treating their pets with valley fever. If you notice your pet has a cough, lack of appetite, or even lack of energy, take them into your vet to get a test for valley fever. The earlier it's detected, the better. In the broadcast center, Jesse Schultz, Cronkite News.
Fans heading to ASU's first home football game are going to see some changes.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how renovations at Sun Devil Stadium are affecting longtime fans.
Fridays, it's at Cronkite News, your social sharing connection where you choose the news. Facebook likes and shares, tweets, retweets, and favorites. YouTube views and subscriptions. We're watching you watch us. From our digital home at cronkitenews.azpbs.org to your television, web browser, or mobile device. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Then join us for at Cronkite News, our weekly refresh, each Friday at 5 on Arizona PBS.
See this flower garden? There used to be a car sitting there, a car I didn't use and didn't want. So I donated it to public television, and they took care of everything. In addition to supporting my favorite programs, I earned a tax deduction. Turn something you don't need into something you really want. Contact the Vehicle Donation Program.
For over 35 years, Rick Steves has been teaching Arizonans on smart travel in Europe. Go online right now and become a $6 sustaining monthly donor, or make a one-time contribution to aid of $75. And we'll say thank you by sending you to see Rick Steves' seminar. You'll learn the latest on stretching your travel dollar, avoiding crowds, eating and sleeping well, and packing smart. Remember, your support keeps all the travel shows you love right here on this station. Go online right now. Thank you.
Cronkite News is a real newsroom with real stories told by real reporters. Bringing you the latest in all news, all Arizona.
Live in Yuma.
Live in Globe.
Reporting live in Phoenix. Live at the Republican headquarters in downtown Phoenix.
Cronkite News directly connects the nation's capital to yours.
While Arizonans anxiously await the outcome.
I spoke to Congresswoman Kirkpatrick.
Live in Washington, D.C., Stephen Hicks, Cronkite News.
Now airing on 8 HD, this is Cronkite News.
8 is Arizona PBS, a service of Arizona State University.
Most Sun Devil football fans couldn't be happier to watch ASU take the field in Sun Devil Stadium this season.
But some are going to have to watch their favorite team from a new location for the first time ever. Cronkite News reporter Rebecca Wynn found some longtime season ticket holders aren't too happy with their new stadium seats.
While most college football stadiums are enjoying the last few quiet moments before the kickoff to a new season, at Arizona State's Sun Devil Stadium, things are a bit more chaotic. More than 10,000 season ticket holders needed to be relocated prior to the first home game.
I myself have been a season ticket holder for probably about 6-7 seasons now. Basically took them over from my father. We've been, season ticket holders for 30 plus years.
Art Taggart considers himself to be a diehard fan, but even this Sun Devil supporter wasn't too hot over his new section.
Well, basically my whole thing is I don't like the Inferno. That's basically what it boils down to. I don't think that a student is going to have more passion than I do.
The sections affected are select upper-level sections in the north and south end zone, which will now be home to the new student section.
You're dealing with a stadium renovation or a new stadium. It's an exciting time.
because it's new. And it also presents some challenges because you're dealing with certain season ticket holders that are used to sitting in certain seats.
And while some season ticket holders weren't happy about the construction here at Sun Devil Stadium, ASU did try to alleviate the situation by offering a new technology called Molina 3D, in which any ticket in the entire stadium could be viewed in a 3D view before being purchased for the season. We invested in this technology because when you're dealing with that large number of people, we wanted to put the process in their hands. The entire $256 million project is slated to be finished by the Sun Devils' 2017 season kickoff. In Tempe, I'm Rebecca Wynn, Cronkite News.
The first home game is this Saturday night at 8 against Cal Poly. Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS.
Now here's a look at what's next on Arizona Horizon.
Coming up after Cronkite News, it's Arizona Horizon. We will talk about efforts to improve the state's brand, and we'll meet the Arizona Republic's new food critic. That's next on Arizona Horizon.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.